to Moody Blooms. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and refresh these planters. They're a little bit, to be quite honest, neglected the last couple months, and they need to be refreshed. They're going a little bit leggy. There's some elongated plants. We need to remove these blossoms that are done blossoming, and we're going to fill in some of this. Welcome to the elementary school fail schedule. Now there's two things that we can go ahead and do with these planters. We could just cut them back and trim them, or we could go ahead and remove everything and then replant some of them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to show you how. Now because we're going to go ahead and redo this entire planter, we're going to get some nice beautiful cuttings to put back in. So what you're going to want to do is find the base of the plant, take off any dead leaves, and give it enough room to root. Make a cut right about here. I'm going to go ahead and make a cut, and then I'm going to remove any of the dead leaves in the bottom so that all the energy of the plant goes into the new leaves. So this particular plant is growing nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and remove some of these leaves that we can propagate. We're going to make a cut. We have this cutting that we can go ahead and replant, as well as you'll notice right here there's already a new baby growing down here where one of the leaves was removed. And I'm going to make a cut right above that baby. So we have new growth coming out of there. And then we'll take some of these lower leaves off, and then we can propagate this. So I went ahead and cut back as much as I could. I've left some of these on here because there's some new growth. You can see right here, there's some new babies here and here on a couple of these. And some of them, they just got too leggy. We want to go ahead and we're going to replant some new plants. I'm going to make sure you try to get as many of the dead leaves out, stop the bugs from coming. But you see these cute little babies right here coming in, right here and here. Go ahead and leave this stalk. There's another little baby coming in right here. So I have plenty of cuttings to choose from to go ahead and put back in the pot. And again, remember to not water these for at least a week because the ends of them are raw and we want to callus over before you put it back into the soil if it's going to be wet. This is dry soil, so we're okay putting it in. But again, wait to water it for at least a week. 7 to 10 days I would wait before you add some water. So if you notice, we have most of the plant put back together. Now right here, these elephant ears, it looks a little sparse, but I want to keep these because it's a nice healthy plant and it's doing really well. So what I like to do is take some cuttings that I've already cut off and stick them kind of in between the plant to make it almost look like it was never cut off. We'll go ahead and continue to fill that in with some other cuttings of the same plant. That way it doesn't look like you've completely devastated the plant. It's a little more full. So just to recap, here is the original planter, and it's just gorgeous, overflowing with succulents, tons of cuttings that we can propagate and use for other planters. This is the planter right after we have pruned and trimmed it back. Now I know some of you must be thinking, what has she done? She has devastated this planter. And I get that, it was beautiful before, but I promise you the succulents will grow back and flourish once again. We also now have a ton of cuttings that we have used for other planters and arrangements. This is the exact same planter 8 months later, and look at the size of those imbricatas. Before they were just about level with the lip of the planter, and now they are once again completely filling up the planter. Tons of new healthy growth. Here's another look at our original planter right after our trim, and then 8 months later, how our beautiful planter is doing. Here is another planter that I eventually cut back and pruned. As you can see, the ogre's ears in the middle are kind of being taken over by the other plants. The imbricata, they're definitely losing their rosette shape that I love, and I just wanted to change it up a bit. So I wanted to cut it back and make the ogre's ears the center of that pot. This is the same planter 8 months later, and as you can see, the ogre ears have begun to flourish and are growing nice and healthy, and this planter is doing very well. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in more, please subscribe and like and hit the bell to be notified for new videos. If you have any questions about this video or have any suggestions for upcoming videos, please let me know in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day, and thank you again for joining Moody Blooms.